Okay, so our last and sixth fundamental right is right to constitutional remedies. It says right to move the court to issue directions, orders, or writs for the enforcement of rights. So let us understand this right in detail. Okay, so right to constitutional remedies. What are remedies? Kinds of solutions. Okay, so how does constitution have certain kinds of solutions? One would agree that our constitution contains a very impressive list of fundamental rights. Yes, we all agree. But merely writing down a list of rights is not enough. There has to be a way through which they could be realized in practice and defended against any attack on these rights. So what is this basically trying to say? They are basically trying to say that, if someone will read the fundamental rights, the list of rights, fundamental rights of India, they will be very impressed that okay, our list is very good. Indeed it is very impressive, but सिर्फ mere लिख देने से तो काम नहीं होगा. Okay, all these rights need to be practiced also in reality, and if they are violated, they also need to be defended against any kinds of attack on these rights. So how does this right to constitutional remedies protects our other fundamental right? Let us understand this. Right to constitutional remedies is the means through which this is to be achieved. What is to be achieved? If there is any attack or if there is any violation on our fundamental rights, so right to constitutional remedies से हम violation को, जिसने भी हमारी राइट को वायलेट किया है, उसके लिए प्रोटेक्शन रिसीव कर सकते हैं और अचीव कर सकते हैं. डॉक्टर अम्बेडकर, ओके, basically Dr. B.R. Ambedkar considered the right to constitutional remedies as heart and soul of the constitution. It is because this right gives a citizen the right to approach a high court or a supreme court to get any of the fundamental rights restored in case of their violation. The Supreme Court and the high courts can issue orders and give directions to the government for the enforcement of rights. Now you can understand that how important are right to constitutional remedies. From first to fifth we have fundamental rights. In fact, sixth is also a fundamental right. But how sixth is important, that is right to constitutional remedy, basically in case if any of your fundamental right is violated, so आप कोर्ट में जाकर जस्टिस सीख कर सकें, सुप्रीम कोर्ट में, हाई कोर्ट में, डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट में आप जाकर जस्टिस सीख कर सकें, वो कौन सा फंडामेंटल राइट है? दैट इज़ योर सिक्स फंडामेंटल राइट, विच इज़ राइट टू कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल रेमेडीज़. ओके, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन रेमेडीज़, दैट मीन्स हमारे पास ये अधिकार है, वी हैव द राइट कि हम कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में अगर हमारी राइट्स वायलेट हो रही है, हार्म हो रही हैं, ओके, या हमारी राइट्स पे अटैक हो रहा है, तो हम उसके लिए सॉल्यूशंस ले सके या जस्टिस ले सके. एंड कोर्ट क्या करता है? बेसिकली कोर्ट issue orders, certain kinds of orders. And what are these orders? We will understand here. They are called writs. Okay, WRITS, writs. And court basically gives certain kinds of order and directions to the government so that government can enforce rights. See, constitution में rights तो लिखी है ना, constitution is just a book. Okay, now who is going to enforce this? The government has to enforce this. The judiciary, that is your judges, need to take care. Judiciary basically comprise of the whole body, the whole system of courts. So the judiciary has to make sure that the rights are enforced properly. So you have two basic terms to understand here: writs, okay, and petition. Let us start. The court can issue various special orders known as writs. Okay, now what are writs basically? See, you feel that your rights are violated. Okay, you go to a Supreme Court or a High Court that your fundamental rights are violated. So in order to protect those rights, you have certain 5 defined writs. Okay, these are habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo warranto, and your fifth is certiorari. Okay, this is not certiorari, this is certiorari. Okay, so this I will explain you further in the next video. Before that, understand what are writs and petition. See, petition is basically, you must have seen on your Facebook or generally read in newspaper that a petition has been filed in a court. What is petition? Understand that petition is basically a formal request. Now, what kind of a formal request? A formal request in a court on certain kind of inquiry. Okay, or a formal request to a government or a court stating your, if you are feeling any grievances again, so you want to have a check on certain things. Okay, so that is just basically your petition. It can be done on individual basis also, it can be done in a group basis also. Okay, आप group में भी petition file कर सकते हैं और individually भी file कर सकते हैं. Now, this petition can be filed in Supreme Court also, and this petition can be filed in High Court also. For petition, generally High Court is there, but it can be filed in Supreme Court also. The articles are different for both. Petition आपको समझ आया? एक formal request जो आप कोर्ट में डालते हो सर्टेन इन्फॉर्मेशन लेने के लिए या सर्टेन अपनी डिमांड्स फुलफिल करवाने के लिए. ओके, अदर थिंग इज रिट्स. नाउ व्हाट आर रिट्स? रिट्स आर बेसिकली, यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दीज 5 डिफाइंड फीचर्स विच आर इशूड बाय कोर्ट. बट ये इशू कैसे होती है? फर्स्ट, यू नीड टू फाइल अ रिट पिटिशन. petition बहुत तरह के होते हैं. petition are of various types. You can say anything, like for example, you have open dump yard around your area. Okay, and since you have a right to live, and right to live states that even like every fundamental right, over the period of time it's get उसका मीनिंग थोड़ा चेंज होने लगता है ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सो इनिशियली राइट टू लाइफ सेड दैट यू हैव द फ्रीडम टू लिव. नाउ in over the period of time, the meaning of right to life has changed, and it also includes that right to fresh air, right to clean environment. So if you have open dump yard near your area, so there will be a lot of mosquitoes, there will be a lot of animals around it, so the chances of spreading of disease, dengue, malaria and other kind of stagnant water and all the unhygienic conditions are there. So you can file a petition that since we have this right and MCD is not working on this, okay, so you can file a petition in the court, single-handedly also, by one person also, and on a group of person can also file a petition. Also, it is not important that if only I am having complaint I can file a petition. For example, if we read the initial examples of Human Rights Commission and the research scholars who actually filed a petition, so उनकी प्रॉब्लम नहीं थी, उनको प्रॉब्लम थी कि दूसरों के साथ उनका राइट वायलेशन हो रहा है, तभी भी आप पिटिशन फाइल कर सकते हो. सो यू जस्ट नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज़ पिटिशन. पिटिशन क्या है? एक फॉर्मल रिक्वेस्ट है सर्टन काइंड ऑफ इंक्वायरी के लिए विच वी पुट इन टू द कोर्ट. नाउ रिट्स आर स्पेशल ऑर्डर्स. Now, how will government, how will court give certain orders to the government when an individual files a petition, and that to a specific writ petition, जिसमें से कोई भी writs के लिए आपने petition file किया होगा amongst these 5 writs only. Okay, so now let us individually understand these 5 writs.